Hi guys and welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Promeet. So now we are sitting in the Tata Punch. Now this is the petrol version of this vehicle, and in today's video I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the Tata Punch and what do we like about this vehicle. I've been driving this vehicle for quite some time now, and I thought I'll just make a video and tell you what are the features that will be beneficial for the people who are driving it within the city or when you're going on the highway. So let's quickly begin this video. So if we talk about the design of the Punch, as you can see from the exterior, at the front it gets a very wide and a big kind of a grille. The front end is kind of an SUV-ish look if you go to see it, because Tata calls this a mini SUV. So it gets the front end that looks like an SUV, plus you have body cladding all over. Then from the rear and from the side is where the car looks slightly compact, but from the front the road presence is nice. You get your LED DRLs, you get a projector for the low beam, a high beam that's a reflector, and then you get fog lamps as well. Overall it looks nice. It's got this piano black kind of finish in the front, Tata logo, and then you move to the side, you have these 16-inch wheels that look again very good. Overall it goes well with the size of the vehicle. Plus you have body cladding, as I mentioned, and this one that you see over here is the dual tone version. So this is the top of the line Creative Plus S AMT, which is the dual tone. As you can see, the roof is finished in white and the body is finished in this blue. However, the ORVMs are also finished in the white color. So moving on, you get body colored door handles and you get request sensor on the driver's side. However, if the passenger side would also have a request sensor, it would have been a nice thing. Moving on to the back, you can see you do not get your traditional door handle. You get it on the C-pillar, which kind of gets very confusing for some people who are sitting in this car for the very first time. They kind of look around for the handle. At the back, if you notice, you will get your LED tail lights that has that starry pattern that again looks very good. Plus you have a rear wiper with a washer, you have a high stop mount light, you have sensors for your parking and as well as a camera. The quality for the camera is really nice, and you also get adaptive guidelines, so parking at tight spaces should not be a problem. Now let's talk about a little bit of practicality and let's move inside the vehicle. First things first, for a car this size, it gets a 366 liter of boot space, which is pretty decent. I think if 4 people are traveling with cabin size baggage, it will be very easy for them to accommodate all the luggage inside. Plus, if you want to go for additional luggage and if you're 2 people traveling, then you can fold the entire seat down. However, it does not get a 60-40 split, so that is not kind of a problem. But I mean, if you have 3 people going and if you have extra luggage, then you could have used the 60-40 split. But since the seat folds down, you can accommodate more luggage like that. If we see on the inside, you get a lot of storage space. For example, the doors get storage space for bottles and as well as an umbrella holder. You get cup holders over here. You get storage space right under the aircon system. Then you have your glove compartment that has a lot of storage space. At the back, you also get door pockets and you get a center armrest that you can see from right here. So the center armrest is very useful. The driver also gets an armrest that is adjustable. However, the height of the armrest is something that I'm not really liking because it is too low for my setting. So I think a center armrest for the driver, if a height adjuster would have been there, it would have been really nice. Overall, fit and finish quality on the inside is nice. You get a dual tone dashboard. Again, everything is finished in plastic, hard plastic, as you can hear. But the quality of the plastic is good. You get brushed aluminium accents around the AC vents, and you get your 3-spoke steering wheel. Not like the one you see on the Tata Punch EV. You get the 2-spoke steering wheel. This is the traditional 3-spoke steering wheel. That is very nice. Overall, if we talk about a little bit of tech in this car, so you get a 10.25-inch screen that has very less bezels. So that has been carried over from the Punch EV, and it is a very nice display. However, there is almost no lag in this. You have wireless at Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you can also connect your phone and go through ton of features over here. So it's a very smooth, it's got the HD display. However, the camera, as I mentioned, is also very nice. You get adaptive guidelines with this, and the quality of the camera is pretty decent. Plus, if you match this thing with the cluster over here, it's somehow not going because the cluster is a little cluster, but it's kind of a basic cluster. However, you have all the information over here from your trip meters to your tire pressure monitoring system. Everything is available on this cluster, but it kind of feels dated in front of this system. Overall, steering wheel is nice. As I mentioned, flat bottom 3-spoke steering wheel, steering mounted controls on either side. On the right hand side you get your cruise control, and on the left hand side you get your controls to operate the screen right over here, and you can also control the cluster. There are 2 toggle switches right over there on the cluster where you can see a couple of things and reset your trip meters or your mileage, fuel economy with that. If you move on to the right hand side, you get a start stop button. That's really nice. You have keyless entry. You also get a dedicated economy drive mode. Now right now I had the economy drive mode on because the car is on a standstill, but by default when you switch off the car and switch it on, it switches on the city mode. So here's what it says when you switch modes.
City drive mode activated.
City mode, and then so it'll start on this mode but it'll not tell you, but if you want your economy mode, you just press the button once again and
economy drive mode activated.
So that's there. Lock and unlock button is right over here. Your ORVM controls and your window controls are very nice. You have a one touch down button for the driver's side window, which is a good thing. And you also get a sunroof over here, as you can see. So I mean, yeah, you have all the features that you will find in a entry-level car in this. Plus, if you talk about the price range of the Tata Punch, so it starts off at 6 lakh rupees, goes up to 10.3 lakh rupees. But there is good news, since we have the new GST 2.0 rule going on right now and prices have been reduced. So you can actually avail a lot of offer. Like the Tata Punch gets a discount of up to, say, maybe 75 to 85,000 rupees with the new GST rules. So the car will become really cheap depending on what variant you're buying. So first time buyers, it is very good news for you, especially if you are buying any car in the market right now, whether be it an SUV, whether be it any motorcycle or any car, you will be saving on some amount of rupees. So this is the key of the vehicle, and as you can see, you have a lock button, you have an unlock button, you have a button to open the boot, and you have a button to switch on the light. This is the key for the Tata Punch, which you have seen in many other Tata cars. Now let's quickly start this car. So you press the brake, since this is an AMT version. So you press the brake, and there is your start stop button right over there. And that is how the car comes to life. Now that's your visibility. It is very nice. You have big windows on the sides. You have a big kind of a windscreen, but you have a manual IRVM, as you can see over here. However, the top end version could have got an automatic dimming IRVM. Now let's quickly go and drive this car and tell you what kind of engine does the Punch have and whether it carries that punch or no. So to shift gears, you basically, there is your D mode, that's your manual mode. Right over here you can switch gears like this, and then you have neutral activated. And then you have your, that's your reverse parking camera, and as you can see, you have guidelines as well. So if we talk about the engine of the Tata Punch, it gets a 1.2 liter naturally aspirated 3-cylinder engine, and for a 3-cylinder engine it is pretty nice because the vibrations are really less. So it is a pretty nice 3-pot engine. If we talk about the power, 88 PS is what it generates, and 115 Nm of torque is what you get. It comes mated to either this one, that is the AMT version, that will be easier for you in stop and go traffic, or if you're an enthusiast and you really want that connect with the car, you can also select a manual variant that you get. That's a 5-speed manual, and this is a 5-speed AMT version. Now, as I mentioned, you have 2 modes. Right now it's on city mode. If I just press economy mode,
economy drive mode activated.
So what happens right now is basically your throttle response becomes really what you call laggy, and I would really not recommend you driving around in this mode, because within city, if you wanna overtake someone, well, this mode is really laggy. But if you want to drive peacefully and you have no hurry to reach anywhere, I think you can put the economy mode, and then you can actually just cruise around peacefully, and then you will get beautiful mileage. If you talk about mileage, well, around 13 to 14 is what you can expect between city. One second, let me just overtake, and to overtake I'll just switch onto the city mode. I have to overtake this person. Let me just quickly show you the overtaking. So we are doing 30 kilometers an hour. If I put my foot down, it just shifts a gear and you can quickly overtake. So overtakes are not a problem with the AMT gearbox. And we again
Economy drive mode activated.
we again switch back to economy drive mode, and also it is a kind of a decent gearbox. It does not have a lot of lag, but since it's an AMT, you will feel a little bit of lag sometimes when you really want to quickly overtake someone or drive a little fast with quick gear shifts. Manual mode. So we are at manual. So push up to shift, and it shifts almost immediately. Let me just shift down. Fourth, third, second, and that's about it. If you're at a higher speed,
Economy drive mode activated.
okay, so when you put it to if you're driving on economy mode and you put it to manual, it'll shift to the city mode. But when you put it back,
Economy drive mode.
it remembers that you are on economy mode and it'll shift back to the eco mode again. So overall, the suspension is also nice. It's pretty decent for your city drives. However, it gets around 187 mm of ground clearance, which is pretty good for a car of this size. Yeah, you can go off some off-roads, but not proper off-roading. Overall, it does not have that immense punch in the engine, but yeah, it is a pretty responsive car as far as the acceleration goes, especially in city mode. Let me switch back to city mode and let me just do a small pull over here. We are in fifth gear, we are doing 55, and if I put my foot down, it shifts to third almost immediately, and there you can see it starts pulling from there. Triple digit speed is not a problem. We already hit 90 kilometers an hour, and taking this turn at almost 105. Nice. So the suspension also is good. It does not have a lot of body roll. You can drive it a little fast around the twisties, around corners, but don't do that because it is not meant to do that. However, it can handle though, is what I was showing you. And we will do a quick pull over here once again. We are second gear, foot down, and 50. Third gear comes in at 80 kilometers, almost touching 100, and braking is also pretty good. It gets a front disc setup and a rear drum setup. Braking is also nice, no problem whatsoever if you take this car on the highway as well, because you will be cruising. You have cruise control as well. You can set it up to a certain speed, and then you can just cruise and go till wherever you're going. However, very good car as far as a compact SUV is what Tata calls it, but it's not an SUV. It, however, looks like an SUV. It has some features that you might get in an SUV, but overall, it is a good package to have. So this, especially this one that we are driving, is the Creative Plus S AMT version. Prices, I told you, 6 lakh to 10.3 lakh, but you can get it at discounts as well because of the new GST 2.0 rules that have set in. I hope you like this video. If you liked it, do give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Promit signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe and drive safe.